Nishmas Ahuva Bava Basra Perik Yud Mishna Yomi. There were two brothers that got a Yerusha. One was rich and one was poor, and they got a Yerusha of a Beis HaMerchatz or an olive press. Asan l'schar, if it was used to make money, haschar l'em, so then they continue that practice and make money with the Beis HaMerchatz or Beis Habad. But asan la'atzman, if the father used it as a private Beis HaMerchatz, a private Beis Habad, which only rich people are able to operate, so then the ani now is stuck. Harei asher omer la'ani kachacha avadam yirchatzu b'merchatz kachacha zeisim ubava asam Beis Habad. You could use it for your own personal use if you were able to afford to do so by getting slaves or by getting olives. And since you're not able to use it for yourself, you're stuck and only I'm going to be able to use it. The Gemara in the first parak says that even though by brothers, when they get a Yerusha or any other shutfin, they have a right to say goydai agud, that either you buy it off me or I'll buy it off you. Over here, the ani's not able to say it because he's not able to buy it off the other person, so therefore he's stuck. Mishnah continues, Shnaim Shayubi Eracha Shem Echad Yosef ben Shimon Shem Achar Yosef ben Shimon. Two people were named Yosef ben Shimon. Ein Yichayim Loitzi Shtar Choyv Zel Zeh. They're not able to collect from each other. V'loi Achar Yachal Loitzi Aleim Shtar Choyv. No one could collect from them because each of them could be madche till the other one and say that it's not me, it's the other person. The Gemara is medayik. But if they're holding on to a shtar chayiv, then they're able to collect with it, because we're not chayshish that it fell from one of the other ones, and fell from one Yosef and Shimon, the other Yosef and Shimon picked it up. It's a machlekes tanaim in the Gemara. Nimsa la'achar ben shtarayis of shtaris shel Yosef ben Shimon perua. If between the shtaris he has a shayver that says that it's paid, shtaris shnei perua, and then we assume that it's going on both shtaris, and you can't collect it. Kate said, Yasa, what should you do if there are two Yosef and Shimons in the city? Shalish, you should go up to the third generation. If the third generation also has the same name, Yichtavu Simon, then you should write a Simon about, let's say he's tall or short. If let's say they exactly, all their Simonim are exactly the same, then Yichtavu Kayin, then you should write Kayin. The mission continues, if someone says that one of my shtaris is Peru, and you don't know which one, shtaris Kulam Peru, and you assume that they're all paid up. Nimsa le'echad, shem shnayim. Let's say there are two shtaris from one borrower, so then he for sure owes the money. The question is which one. So then hagadol peru avakatan ein peru. You have to assume that the bigger one was paid up, but you could still collect the smaller one. Hamalves chaverim al yidei ariv. If someone lends his friend money and there's a ariv, there's a guarantor, lo yifrim in a ariv. The Gemara explains that this means that you're not allowed to collect from the ariv first. You first have to collect from the loiva, and then if the loiva has no money, then you could go to the ariv. The mikar of ariv, the Gemara says first from a pasuk, but then the Gemara says it's a machlekes hamiram. One says it's the whole arvis is a tali in a machlekes tanam, and the other man, the Amr, says that it's a svara that the kamehemenle, in that pleasure that I'm getting, that he trusts me. Gabru mashab nafshe. The Arav is Gomer, there's a Gemir Das, and he's Meshaben himself, and that's the Makar of Arvis. The Mishnah continues. Vim Omar al Menashe Ephraim and Misha Eretzev. He says, I'm going to collect from whoever I want, either the Leiv or the Arav. Yifram in a Arav, then you could collect from the Arav first. Now the Gemara over here puts in that there's a Chsuri Mechsera, Mahachi Katani, that there's another case of a Kablan. A Kablan is a Machlekes in the Gemara if he just doesn't use the words Hilvul Vani Ariv. He uses the word, let's say, Hilvul Vani Perei. He's a Kablan, or according to another man, the Amr, he's Dafa Kablan if he says Tenle Vani Kablan, or Tenle Vani Perei, Tenle Vani Chayev, or Tenle Vani Noisein. And according to the third man, the Amr, Yadafka Kablan if you use the words Tenle Vani Etein or Tenle Vani Kablan. If you use the word Kablanas, then a Ariv Kablan means that you go to the Kablan first, or you have the right to go to the Kablan first, and that's the Shita of the Tanakama, that by a Kablan you can either go to the Leiva or to the Kablan. On that, Rishon Gamliel, he says, no, even by a Kablan, if the Leiva has property, you have to go to the Leiva first. The third case that the Gemara speaks out is if it was Nasam and Nasam Biyad, if you actually gave the money over to the Kablan, and the money went directly from the Kablan or from the Malva to the Kablan, so then everyone's going to hold, even Rishon Gamliel hold, that you could collect from the Kablan first. The mission continues, if someone was an Ariv for a isha in her ksuva, that if the baal doesn't pay, he could collect from this person. And his husband's divorcing his wife. The Chachamim made up that b'shas gerishin, or could be even after a gerishin, if you want to collect the ksuva, the baal has to make a neder that I'm not going to have any hana from you, because we're afraid that maybe the baal and the isha got together, he's divorcing her, she's going to collect her ksuva from the arev, and now afterwards this person, this arev, is going to lose out because the baal's not going to have any more money. So therefore they said, you make a hana, then you're not going to have a hana, and then you're not going to be able to remarry her. Kiveg over here in the Mishnah says, why was this said on the baal, and how are you going to enforce it? The gzera should have been on the isha, that the isha can't collect her ksuva until she makes a neder. But either way, the maskanas haGemara is that there's no such thing as arvis by a ksuva, arav de ksuva le mishtabed, and in such a case you wouldn't be mechayiv to pay up, because she wasn't losing anything out by a ksuva. It's not like she lent money or she lost anything. She's just not collecting her ksuva. And the Arev was doing a mitzvah by saying to me, to support the shidduch in order that it should go through, he said that I'll take responsibility. And therefore, in such a case, he's not mishabed himself. Mishna Ches, that only if there was a halva with a shtar, then you could collect from the lekuches. But if it was just done through Edom, then all you could collect is in the chasim neichayim, and you can't go after the lekuches. So machlekes in the Gemara, if it's because shibuda is not the raisa, and only with a milva b'shtar you could collect shaloi tinel dalas with I love him, but by milva al peh you can't collect because there's no kol, or is it because say the lekuches, but if it is a shtar then you could collect, because then we say shibuda the araisa. The Mishnah continues. Even if he has his own ksav yad, and we know for sure it's his ksav yad that he owes the money, still you can only collect from the chasim neichayim. The Mishnah says, if the arvis was written after the shtar was already signed, if it was before, then there's a machlekes in the Gemara, but if it was written afterwards, so now the Mishnah discusses whether you could collect with it at all. For sure you can't collect from mishubadim, but the Tanakam held goyim in the chasim neichayim, and you can collect from the chasim neichayim. Ma'aser b'alfnei Rishma v'amar goyim in the chasim neichayim. V'amar le Benanas said no, ain't a goyim v'loyim in the chasim mishubadim v'loyim in the chasim neichayim. You can't collect at all. Amar le lama, amar le harei achaynik asecha b'shuk u'matzach haver v'amar le hanach pater. If you would see your friend getting choking, say leave him alone, I'll take care of it. So then you're pater. Shalei al munasa helvu. So also over here, it was already signed, the shtar, and he wanted to collect money for him, so he says, don't worry about it, I'll be an Arab. But really, there was no shiba that went on, and therefore, in such a case, you can't even collect from Mnei Chayrin. What is the case that an Arab is chayiv? Is if you said these words, Helvu v'ani noisin lach, then you're chayiv. Shekein amu nasai helvu. Amar Rabbi Yishmael hareitze sheyakim. If someone wants to be smart, be a chacham yasik b'dini mammon, he should be yasik b'dini mammon. Shein l'cham mikseir b'teir gadol mihen. Shehin kemayin haneveya. They're like a spring that's sprouting out water. V'hareitze sheyasik b'dini mammon. If someone wants to be yasik b'dini mammon, tishamis hashim benanas. Is Hajj al-Hula Maseches Bava Basra. It's very interesting that today is the end of Mishna Yomi in Bava Basra, and in the Daf Yomi cycle, it's also the end of Bava Basra.